Hey Raffi, can I interrupt you for a second? I just have a couple questions.
Of course. What can I do for you?
Yeah, so did you know that May is Older Americans Month and the theme this year is Flip the Script on Aging? What does that mean to you personally?
What's Older American Month? First of all, sadly today the Pope passed away. And the first thing I said to my wife, how old was the Pope? And she said 88. My first response was, wow, he was young. And I was kind of taken back by saying he was actually young at 88 years old. The world is changing. A certain age is becoming of sort of like the young crowd, 40, 50, 60, 70. You know, I'm 61 and I'm beginning to feel that life is just beginning now because now I've got a good 30 years ahead of me. So Older Americans Month for me means a new start in this world for a particular group who've worked hard, they've done their thing, and now they want to enjoy the world within means. That's what it means, that they're beginning to truly enjoy it. The time of having to make ends meet, raising kids, paying for a house, all that time is behind them, and they truly have a good 30 years ahead of them, like me, where I'm like, oh, wow, I'm going to actually enjoy my life.
Okay, great, thank you. And then my next question is that you have cultivated a very special customer base for between the ages of 44 and up. Can you tell me about the life experiences of your customers since you talk to them often? I'm looking for insight on your customers.
Well, my customers are, first of all, they're in the range of 44 to 75. It's that same crowd that spent their first part of their life with head down, focused. They have good intentions. They run their life with ethics. They do things that are for the benefit. They have a long game plan. And that game plan has become the fruit of their life today. So which means that the house is paid for, the kids are out of school or out of the house, they're married, they probably have grandkids. But my customers are people who have spent so much time with their head down, and now they're looking to have some of the joys in life. They want to experience some of the beautiful things that they never got to experience, and they don't know everything because they weren't afforded that all the travel, all the beautiful things because they were busy working. So now they stumble on me on social media, and then we talk about things. We talk about a lot. We talk with them on the phone. Also, I do a lot of talking on the phone, but they are looking for a special experience. They know they can afford the Louis Vuitton or Gucci. They've done that, but they're past that. So my customer base is looking for a very specialty experience, personal, product, new ways of experiencing fragrances. Like you look at this, for example, right? What is so special about this to them is that there's also a level of scarcity that I have. Not everyone has this. It's $425. Not everyone can afford it. We know that. Not everyone can afford it. And they can. They can afford more than this. But they gravitate towards the brand because it delivers a very unique experience to them. For example, in the fragrance world, the United States has become a place like, you've got the linens, you've got the tonka, or you've got, for example, cinnamon spice or chai latte. That's common. They want to get past the common. They want to feel they deserve the better things in life, therefore they come to us. But we are a little more scarce, which they love as well.
Thank you for sharing that about your customer base. And then also touching on that, since you have cultivated a mature customer base, how do you update fragrances to your audience? What do you do to stay current and not in the past?
Everything has a nostalgic component to it. We all grow up with a certain fragrance that's, why do they say it's a home style food? Why does a soup make you feel homey? Or why does a certain fragrance brings you some nostalgic feeling? How do you bring that, right? What you do is look at Bella Hadid, for example, today. She brought back the tankini, right? And when a 22-year-old is wearing the tankini, she's wearing a very skimpy bathing suit with a top and a tank top on top. That was the old. The today version for the 50-year-old, 60-year-old, or 70-year-old is probably maybe like a shorty bathing suit, or a one-piece with a top, or two-piece, but it covers a little more. It gives them that comfort level. In the fragrance world, it's the same. So when I go in and say, we're going to do a fragrance, we will take the rose that the customer is used to, or we'll take the neroli or the eucalyptus and build a huge bouquet around it. And we make it more current. We make it more up-to-date on the fragrance, on the visual. A candle in the old days used to be just a glass jar with some fragrance in it. But today, it's become this. This is what it's become. And what you're looking at and the experience of the fragrance there's a monster unseen bouquet in here. But even visually, when you're not lighting it, there's a mandatory requirement that it's got to look great. So we bring the old back through nostalgic references.
Okay, thank you. And you've spoken before about how a candle is more than just a scent. It's a presence. Can you speak to how that concept relates to maturing with grace?
How that relates to maturing with grace? I think when you get older, and particularly my customers, the grace that you're asking me is they want less, but they want what they have to perform more. There's a movement out there. It's called the no-buy movement, and that movement today is I don't need 50 candles. I just need one that's great. We have a philosophy: buy one watch, make it amazing. So buy one brand and stick to that. So our mature crowd doesn't want everything anymore. What they want is the best that they can put their hands on, or the best that they know about, right? Which is why we discuss. I always share in my emails, what's the best hotel to go to? What's the best restaurant to go to? Why are these the best in my opinion? There's a million best restaurants. But today, we discuss these things because our mature audience, they don't want to be everywhere. They want to walk into a restaurant that the maitre d' knows them, that they get greeted. It's an emotion, right? They get greeted. They get to sit in the table they want. They don't need to go to 50 restaurants. What they need is a beautiful emotion. What my mature customer is doing is inviting into their home exactly the one or two things they want, and leaving out. They're saying no to a lot of other things that is not necessary in their life. They're cleansing themselves.
Okay, that's great to hear. And lastly, you seem to have a certain assured confidence in your audience and customers. Do you know and understand what your customer expects from you and your brand?
Yes, I'm intimately involved with my customers. Our customers have turned a chapter in life. I call it, that time when they were working and they got their life together and they are at an age where 40, 50, or 60. In the old days, they used to say 60 is when you retire. No, again, the feeling is this is a beginning. It's just a new beginning. The best thing is, the thing that really captures me is that at this moment, they are the most vibrant in their life. They are exercising more, eating healthy better, they're traveling better, they're bringing better things into their lives. They are at this moment at the pinnacle of their life. No matter where they are, they feel the best. They might not have accomplished everything. They might have one of these things, but they know they're going to get 5 or 6 or 7 of them because this is the brand they like. My customers, at a certain age, they begin to feel more energized, life is more fruitful today for them. I know it. I know all my customers. I talk to them. Some of them are in second marriages. Some of them have 4 restaurants. But the first 2 restaurants were very difficult. But the other 2 that they're doing today, it's so easy for them. It's full of joy. That is what they're bringing into their home. They're bringing all that joy into their home. I happen to be one of those joys.
All right, thank you, Raffi, for the insight, and happy Older Americans Month.
Well, thank you. I'm part of that group. Doesn't sound good, but I got to tell you, with that goes everything I just described, which is when you get there and you are a part of my group, you'll appreciate how beautiful it is. This part, I'm 62 years old, or I'm going to be 62. It's like spring for me, as if I'm just I'm just born now. That's what it feels like. It's a beautiful feeling. And thank you all for joining my journey.